Um, Let me thank all of you for being part of my journey since I came to the National Assembly. You have done extremely well in telling the world the little and the modest achievement we've done so far, and I want to thank you for that. Today, by the special grace of God, we've been able to pass through the second reading a bill that I sponsored on the amendment of the National Electricity Reform sector. It's actually on what is affecting all of us. It's a pro-people bill because presently the discos are private companies and Nigerians are the one buying the equipment for them. And most times you buy the equipment, the moment you buy the equipment and get the light running, they bring their bill. At times you have to change transformers and they'll be the one to install the transformer, or they give you exorbitant bill that you cannot pay and the entire community has to go around getting money. There are so many private companies, and I think it is not the responsibility of electricity consumers to pay for equipment for these distribution companies. It's a contract. The contract is for the distribution companies to provide safe, efficient, affordable, and clean energy. Our own part of the bargain is to pay our bills. But most often than not, we are the ones that buy the equipment, and after buying the equipment, we still pay the bill, and nobody reimburses us. So this amendment is to remove that clause in Section 32 of the National Electricity Regulation Commission Act that provide that whatever you put in the grid belongs to the grid. Now, whatever you put in the grid, though it belongs to the grid, but you have to be paid. And to avoid people bringing arbitrary bills, when a situation is in your area, let's say electricity is not running or it's not working, you have within 48 hours to report to the nearest disco office. And if after that 48 hours they don't come, you can now go to them with a bill, a prepared bill of what it will cost to fix the equipment. I know most times they come to see what is actually wrong. You prepare that one, take it to them, get them to tell them that you want to go and fix it. They must have agreed with you, but most time they will not agree with you if they see that the price is above what they are expecting. But having agreed on that, you now go ahead and fix it. And after fixing it, it is on them within 30 days to pay you. Either they are giving you cash or they are giving you what we call the energy credit to your meter. You don't have to pay until you have exhausted what you put into the grid. So that's the basic I'll call it basic reason for this amendment, and it affects all of us. By the grace of God, my colleagues all supported, and we've got into the second reading, and has been given to the appropriate committee for further legislative action.
Okay, thank you.
The government and the operators are against the masses. This is a masses bill. This is a bill that will remove the pressure from the people. That whatever you are putting in, see, this will even enable the distribution companies to do better. Because if you know that your money is going to come back to you, there's nothing wrong. You want to put it happily, get energy as you want to, get your power supply as you want it. Believe it that someday, in the nearest future, within 30 days, you either be paid the money or you are given energy credit in its place. So probably if you spend, say you buy a transformer, you might not even pay bill for an entire year or more. So I don't think that this will be like one of those ones. It's one thing. We have a responsibility. Section 4 of the Constitution is very, very clear as to our responsibility. We are prescribed by the Constitution to make laws. And when we make the law, the process of lawmaking is actually the first reading, the second reading, the third reading, and it's passed, and it's wait for the executive assent. And if the executive is not assenting or they are not implementing it, that shouldn't be our problem. It is now left for you people in the press, the Nigerian masses, to hold the executive to be responsible and do what they ought to do. We cannot be everywhere. When we have done it, when you know that this thing has been done and it's now left for certain quarter, not just putting pressure on the National Assembly, no, you can put pressure on the executive to ensure. I remember during the Not Too Young to Run bill, people had to come. They protested on several times, and Mr. President listened and signed. So I think it's not just about the National Assembly. We are doing our bit. I keep saying it anyway. We are doing our bit. we are moving motions, we are passing bills, but the implementation is not our own. You cannot appropriate and reprobate. It is strictly for lawmaking, and we are doing our bit. So I think you should pass the order buck to the necessary agency of government, which is the executive arm.